YouTube. Listen, disclaimer, man. If you a huge Bud Crawford fan, no, let me put that, because I'm a huge Bud. I rocks what Bud Crawford. If you follow the channel, you know I rock what Bud. I'm picking Bud to win. Let me rephrase that. If you are a Bud Crawford meat rider,
hey bro, come on now.
Hang from the testicles
Hey bro, come
of
on
Bud
now.
Crawford, then you might not like this video, because I call it right down the middle, and I'm about to serve some crazy, crazy work. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Man, if you don't get your big goofy ass in here and hit the bag. If you catch me for the very first time, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that little bell notification, man, so when I drop, you can come over here and join me. All right, man, listen, there ain't no secret on this channel. I'm a huge Bud Crawford supporter. Fan, whatever you want to call it. I rock with Bud. If he finished tomorrow and it was up to me if he went into the Hall of Fame, I'm stamping him first ballot. But I gotta keep it funky and keep it straight down the middle. Listen, like I keep telling you, this is probably gonna be one of the most unbiased channels you ever come across, right? And that's big facts. Big facts. Now, when it comes to Bud Crawford, listen, he's got a lot of influence over a lot of people, and I respect it. I'm one of those people. I hang on to a lot of the things that Bud Crawford say because of the amount of respect that I got for him. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand the respect is, it's crazy work.
Yo, that's crazy work.
But again, gotta keep it funky. And I gotta be real. Now, Bud Crawford just recently did an interview, and I want to play part of that interview for you because he said something about the boxing fans, and the sport itself, the sport of boxing, period. And I took heed. I listened, and I actually did what Bud Crawford said to do. I want you guys to listen to it as well with me. Let's give it a listen.
Does it pain you to watch him kind of, in some ways, be underappreciated and under-recognized, or you look at that as just like, oh, this is just part of the business. All of us have to go through this.
All the greats have been through those type of adversity moments. You know, people talk bad about Floyd Mayweather. People talk bad about me. People talk bad about Ali. People gonna talk bad about the great ones. You know, they want him to be basic. They want him to sit in front of a guy and slug it out with him so they can say, oh, that was a great fight. That was a wonderful fight. Shakur Stevenson got his head banged out, but he won the fight. That's what they want. But that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is called boxing for a reason. Hit and not get hit. You know, I think...
Pause. You hear what Bud just said? The name of the game is boxing. To hit and not get hit. That's going to be important. I want you to remember that. Let's continue.
People need to look up the definition of boxing. You know, you got a lot of people that claim they know boxing and they follow.
Pause again. You hear what my man Bud just say? Some of y'all need to look up the definition of boxing. Oh, let's continue.
Boxing, and they got the
diabolical.
Now that's diabolical.
YouTube channels, and they got their podcasts, but they really don't know boxing. Yeah, they watch boxing, but they don't even know what they're watching half of the time. You know, they look at boxing and they say, well, he wasn't fighting. Oh, I want to see a good fight. Oh, I want to see these two guys fight. It's always fighting. But that ain't the name of the game. It's called boxing. Why don't they say, oh, I
want you to keep that in mind as too. That ain't the name of the game. It's called boxing. They fighting. It's not fighting. They're boxing. This is what Bud is saying. Pay close attention.
I want to see Tank box Shakur. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a boxing match, not a fighting match. If you want to watch fighting, then there's other things like UFC. They fight. They use their feet. They use, their elbows. They kick you. They do a lot of things, But when we talking about the martial arts of boxing, it's a science to boxing. And I just want people to, know the definition of boxing.
Shout out Bud Crawford. And when I heard this, I was like, damn, Bud, you make a lot of sense, though. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I continuously said, listen, I get some, I'm not extremely bored at a Shakur Stevenson fight. I do get enjoyment out of watching that particular style. I do. I would be lying if I said I didn't appreciate that style. You know what I'm saying? Like, the buttoned-up defense, the accuracy, is a dope style for me to watch, but I consider myself a purist, right? But for Bud Crawford, when I heard this initially, I was like, damn, Bud, you make a lot of sense. Bud has a big influence on me. But again, I got to keep it funky, and I got to get downright diabolical.
Now that's diabolical.
Big facts. All right, Bud says, I need for y'all to look up the definition of boxing. And I want you to check this out right here. This is the definition of boxing. When you're talking about straight Oxford languages definition of boxing. The sport or practice of fighting, my dear sir, with the fist, especially with padded gloves, in a roped square ring according to prescribed rules. And then they gave you a sentence you could use the word in. I grew up watching boxing with my dad and grandfather. Now listen, this is just a pure definition of what boxing is. Google it right now. This is going to be the first thing you see. Let's read it again. The sport or practice of fighting with the fist, but fighting nonetheless, especially with padded gloves and a roped square ring according to prescribed rules. Now, if that doesn't, grab you, you can look at other definitions. So I grabbed the Wikipedia definitions, which normally gives you the background and everything that there is to know about something. And this is what Wikipedia had to say. Check this out. Boxing, also known as Western boxing or pugilism, is a combat sport and a martial art in which two people, usually wearing protective gloves and other protective equipment such as hand wraps and mouth guards, throw punches at each other for a predetermined amount of time in a boxing ring. It doesn't say shit about hit and not get hit, none of that. We're just talking about the definitions of boxing, right? It doesn't mention it. And the very pure breakdown of boxing includes the term fighting. So I'm sorry, Bud, you're wrong. It's a fight. We all know it's a fight.
Hey,
That's
bro,
why we call it
now,
fight
dog.
night. We don't go and say, hey, man, you watching the boxing match Saturday night? No, we watching the fight. I'm just keeping it a buck. I fuck with Bud. Hopefully if you accidentally see this video, you can agree to some extent. No disrespect. It's diabolical.
Now that's diabolical.
But no disrespect. Just all big facts.
Big facts.
Now, I think Bud was trying to get y'all to understand the sweet science, right? Now, the sweet science is something different. It's something that's associated with the term boxing, right? Now, we already established that boxing is a form of fighting, right? It's a martial arts. You're fighting at the end of the day, right? But you just happen to be fighting with gloves, mouthpiece, headgear, whatever, in a ring, predetermined time. But the sweet science, let's look that up real quick. It's a term used to describe the sport of boxing, including the fighting styles and preparation of boxing. Oh, the fighting styles. Now, the sweet science could be used to define what Shakur Stevenson is doing. His style of boxing where he wants to hit you and not get hit, right? That's always going to be the idea of the sport of boxing, but the sweet science defines it better, right? And listen, I'm just keeping it funky, man. I know this shit is diabolical.
Now that's diabolical.
But I'm keeping it, I got to give you the big facts.
Big facts.
The term was first used in 1813 by British sports writer Pierce Egan, who believed boxing was a natural instinct, and the fighters should approach it scientifically, using strategy to defeat their opponents. Right, so the sweet science, that's embodying strategy, that's embodying styles, you know what I mean, to defeat your opponents. When you want to use that shell, you know what I'm saying, you want to get in, get out, you want to use the sweet science, you want to hit and not get hit. So hopefully we got the breakdown, and I'm just keeping it, listen, this was crazy work.
Yo, that's crazy work.
This was a lot of big facts.
Big facts.
So now I can't agree with you there, bud, but I rock with you. Heavy, you know what I mean? You gonna kill Madrimov, but we gotta feed the people the truth. You know what I'm saying? If they wanna watch a fight, they can watch boxing because it's fighting. At the end of the day, Oh, y'all don't kill me too bad in the comment section. That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. I'm out of here, man. And like I continue to tell y'all, I go to Roger every time. And I'm a part of that. When Roger say most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing, I'm one of them. I just learned this stuff and I had to share it with you. But tell us again, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.